AAA games are the most expensive, technologically advanced, graphically sterile, and just bonkers in terms of their scope. Video games that show how far this medium has come since it was just a few pixels on some nerd's screen. Because now the number of pixels is pretty insane, and some people who play video games even have sex sometimes. But together with the widespread public acceptance and the obscene amounts of cash flowing non-stop into the veins of big-budget game development, came some things that in a way started to restrict this unique form of entertainment. When a company invests so much money and human resources into creating this one product that can completely flop and just waste all those efforts, the risk is already high enough. From a business perspective, it just makes no sense to invest into something without any certainty that you can make at least some form of profit from it. And I know it because I took this one business class during my high school. Trust me, I'm a specialist here. So, as a result of such high stakes, big game companies tend to choose the safe approach when they make another video game. The safe approach means that you usually invest into properties that already have a good track record and developed a dedicated following. The gameplay needs to be familiar to the broadest possible audience, and the less controversial the story is, the better. That is why every big budget game these days is either a third-person shooter with light RPG elements set in a post-apocalyptic world, or alternatively a 24th Assassin's Creed game. You don't need to be a pretentious idiot with too much free time and too little social obligations to start noticing how monotonous this grand cinematic experience can become. So when someone finally gets bored of another middle-aged white gentleman with a complicated past but a heart made of gold, saving the world for the billionth time, then they can always direct their gaze onto the marvelous scene of indie game development. Here, in this land of freedom, where no one is getting paid, you won't find any continuations of established franchises, photorealistic graphical fidelity, revolutionary fish AI, or even unexpected celebrity cameos. Instead of all that, we have pixels, even more pixels, questionable Steam games, devoid of Unity horrors, pixels again, and even visual novels about cat girls. What a wonderful, brave new world we live in. But occasionally in this pile of
unique artistic expression,
one might find something that actually stands out from the rest. And usually those games just die in obscurity without earning even a penny. But in a 1 in a million chance, they blow up. And when they do, we get some of the most fresh, visually as well as auditory stimulating, and just all-around fun games that you'll ever play in your life. And now we actually got to the actual topic of this video, Hotline Miami. On a surface level, Hotline Miami is just another top-down pixel mess, straight from the closest indie kitchen. And there is no much that makes it superior to any expensive simulator of the American dream. There is no deep plot, convoluted themes, or commentary on the social problems. Just like in COD, you shoot imaginary people and that makes dopamine receptors in your brain feel good. At its core, Hotline Miami is very simple, but it's everything around that core that makes it so vibrant with personality, overflown with style and contagious to play. What being an independent small developer provides is the freedom to create whatever your soul desires. You are in no way concerned about the shareholders or how your game will promote the branding of your multinational conglomerate of evil. Of course, on the flip side, you're poor. Most probably living in your mother's basement type of poor. And that is quite limiting in the scope of what you can actually do with your game. Even if your ideas are the best this world has ever seen, they're still quite useless if you simply have no resources to implement them. The sky may be the limit, but that jet won't tank itself on hopes and dreams. No, you need something more physical for it. You need money, and money comes with obligations. So indie development ends up being a constant struggle between what you want to do and what you are capable of doing at this specific point of your life. Now, when I think about it, it is actually pretty similar to developing your YouTube channel. You invest your time and efforts just to realize that you have absolutely no idea what you are doing, and you will most probably never get paid even a cent for all the hours you wasted on it. But people don't do YouTube for money. Trust me, and people don't create new original games from zero just to get famous and rich. It's all about passion. And that's what flows from the toes to the very heart of Hotline Miami. An insane amount of passion, from the intoxicated, fever-like visual style that makes you feel all of the LSD effects without giving some shady bloke under your house $50, to the stereo music which will be instantly added to your playlist and will stay there till the end of days. You go from one room to another in this surreal hypnotic state while simultaneously inflicting insane amounts of violence on your fellow man. There is some overarching plot to all this madness, but you really couldn't care less for what is your justification to repeatedly smash this fellow's head with his own bat until the walls get painted with his brain matter. The violence is clearly over the top, and you are meant to enjoy the absolute fuck out of it. From the first homeless man you brutalize, to the last whoever this is, wherever we are, the weird voices in my head told me to do this, and it was kinda awkward to say no, so I just exterminated the whole neighborhood in the most vicious manner possible. This game would never be acceptable as something created by a big well-known game developer. The graphics lack that juicy 4K, ray tracing both shrinking detail, there are no parts you can cut and then sell as an exclusive day one DLC, and the level of violence would make mass media to lose their shit and call this game the coming of the devil himself. In the big boys gaming club, this game could never exist. And we would never have all this pure, unfiltered, and sometimes disturbing even to my unhinged mind, fun.